Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our next session. If you were on the first session, thank you for joining us and staying with us. If this is your first session of the day, welcome to the UTC orientation, virtual orientation. We're going to get started here in about 4 or 5 minutes. This is the Financing Your Future session. So we'll be talking a lot of things money. So we'll hear from Financial Aid Scholarship. We'll hear from the Bursar's office. Also hear from our Mocs One Center, all areas that help you make sure your fees are getting paid, your financial aid's getting processed, scholarship, things like that. So just get another cup of coffee, get situated, and we'll be started shortly. Thank you all for being with us today. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started. So once again, thank you all for being here today. If this is your first session, welcome to the UTC virtual orientation. If you're sticking with us from our first session, thank you for sticking with us, and we hope you stay with us throughout the day. This session is going to cover our financing side, the fees, financial aid, scholarship. So a lot of good information getting covered here. Just a couple quick things before we turn it over to the content people, the knowledgeable people in this session. I just have a few things to add. First, you will see there is a chat option to pull up in this Zoom meeting. We encourage you to drop your questions in there. We will also post some information in there, some contact information, things like that. So if you want to save the chat, it's really easy to do so. And of course, Ms. Tanya Martin, right on cue, dropped how to save the chat in the chat area. So all you have to do is open the chat, click on those 3 dots in the bottom right-hand corner, and to let you save the chat. If for some reason you can't save the chat, maybe your device won't allow it, just email our office, which is orientation@utc.edu. We'll drop that in here shortly. Just email us, and we're happy to get a copy of the transcript to you. As we do post questions, just a reminder, if you have personal information you need to share in your question, please don't post that in the general chat. Please don't share your FAFSA PIN or any other particular login, bank account information, things like that. If you have specific questions like that, our offices will be posting their contact information in here so you can reach out separately, or you can chat with someone privately. So, if you need, if you have a specific financial aid question that has certain personal information you need to share, you can just click on Ms. Kim Whiteside or Mr. Ken Scanipiego, and it would pull up a private chat with them for you to do that. So let's just make sure we don't post any personal information in there. That's pretty much all I have from my end. I apologize, I didn't introduce myself earlier. My name is Drew Fry. I work in the orientation office. So we are very excited to have y'all on the call today. So if you do have any questions about orientation or anything outside of financial aid, you can message me, students. If you're not sure when your advisement appointment is, or you missed your advisement appointment from some of the first ones this morning, let us know and we'll make sure we get that taken care of and get you rescheduled. So I'm going to get into the background and turn it over to the knowledgeable people in here. So we're gonna hear first from our Financial and Scholarship Office. So I will turn over to Ms. Kim Whiteside.
Hi, Drew. Good morning. And good morning, everyone on the call. Thanks for being with us today and welcome to UTC. I'm just going to give you some general financial aid information, and then Mr. Scanipiego is going to go into some additional information specific to scholarships. July 1st is our priority deadline for a completed financial aid file. This is contingent on you having your FAFSA and all supporting documentation into us. If we have all of this information by July 1st, we will be able to have your financial aid package available to you by the fee payment deadline of August 6th. If for any reason we need any information from you and we haven't received that yet, we will contact you via your UTC email. So it is very important that you continually check your email. If you're wondering why you don't have financial aid yet, it might be because we've contacted you through email and asked for some documentation and we don't have it yet. It's also very important to check your My Mocsnet account. That is where you get to your award letter and other information. And we need you to check your award letters to make sure that no aid is missing. If you're looking for an outside scholarship or something that you're expecting that's not on your award letter, please let us know as soon as possible, and we can work with you to figure out why that item isn't there and to get it added to your award letter. Part of the processing of getting your aid is reviewing your award letter, like I said, and that lets you know what's available. If you have grants, scholarships, and other aid, You do not have to necessarily actively do anything to get that aid, but for loans, you do. So if you decide that you want to receive student loans, there are some steps you need to follow. We need you to complete loan entrance counseling and to sign your master promissory note. All of these items can be found at studentaid.gov. And additionally, when you log into your MyMocsNet account, you'll see that those requirements are there, and the links to get to them will be on your MyMocsNet account so that you can get those items completed. All students are required to meet satisfactory academic progress. And there's two things that we look at for financial aid as far as academic progress. It's a little different from what you have to do to remain in progress for school. We require 2.0 GPA, and I think that's consistent with the university. But there's also a course completion requirement that you have to complete for us. We want to make sure that you're progressing in your academic career. So we look at the number of classes you attempt versus the number that you complete. So it's important to complete what you start. So if you can remember that, you'll always be okay as far as financial aid progress. Your next FAFSA will be available on October 1st, and this is for the 21-22 school year. We always recommend that you do your FAFSA early because some aid is first come, first serve. For example, work study and state grants. Those are time sensitive, so you need to do your FAFSA as soon as possible. Mr. Scanipiego is going to talk a little bit about renewal criteria for your scholarships, and we want you to know too that the scholarship application for next school year will open in late August, so it's important that you do that so you can be considered for those monies. Our office works with the bursar's office and with the Mocs 1 Center to service your needs and to make sure you have aid and to take care of all your bill payment issues and all of those things. The Mocs 1 Center is a one-stop shop. So they're available in the University Center in room 124, and they can assist you with any questions or financial aid issues that you have. Go ahead, Ken, please. A couple of things I want you to remember before I move forward. When we award financial aid, it is based on full-time enrollment. So we assume that you are going to be enrolled full-time. Full-time enrollment for financial aid purposes are 12 credit hours, and your financial aid is based on that. So if you decide to take fewer classes, your financial aid may be prorated based on your actual enrollment. So keep that in mind. Also, whenever you accept your financial aid, it is for the school year. So whatever you see on your award letter, you get half in the fall and half in the spring. So when you look at your loans and other things that you may want, factor that into your decision for how much you want to borrow, because whatever is on your letter is what you're going to get for the whole school year. Additionally, there's a service that we offer with the book in contingent, excuse me, y'all, long morning, no coffee. There's a service that we offer in conjunction with the bursar's office and the bookstore, and it allows you to get your books on bookstore credit using financial aid that you have available. So if you have a credit balance after your tuition charges, your housing, and your dining fees are paid, you can use up to $700 to charge your books in the bookstore. To do this, there's a survey that you need to fill out. It's called a Title IV survey. And directions for that will be under your requirements on your MyMocsNet account. And Ken's going to touch on this a little bit more. There's a HOPE survey that you need to fill out as well if you're a HOPE recipient. Mrs. Parks during the bursar presentation is going to talk a little bit more about the bookstore credit, so she'll give you more details at that point. The final thing I want to discuss with you before I transition over to Ken is making sure your financial aid counts. You want to take courses that count toward your degree. We're not allowed to pay you financial aid for courses that don't help you progress towards finishing your degree. So your advisor will help you pick the courses that you need to take so that you can achieve your goal of completing your degree program. By doing this, you'll maximize the amount of financial aid that you have available, and we don't want you to leave any financial aid on the table that you're eligible to receive. So keep that in mind when you're making your decisions about courses. Okay, without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our Assistant Director, Ken Scanipiego, and thank you for your time today.
All right, hello and good morning. Welcome to UTC Orientation, and we're excited about having you coming fall. And my name is Ken Scanipiego. I'm the Associate Director in the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarship, as Ms. Kimberly has mentioned. I'm going to start out talking to you a little bit today about the Tennessee Education Lottery Scholarship. We just call that the HOPE Scholarship. The HOPE Scholarship is the primary scholarship program under that TELS program, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And so if you already see that award out in your Mocs account under an accepted status, that means that we've already confirmed your eligibility and we're moving forward with that award. If it's not yet, I'm just going to put a plug in here. If it's not yet in an accepted status, that means we've not yet really confirmed your eligibility, or we need you to help us with transitioning that award to UTC if you had initially started with another school. All right, so we're just going to kind of table that information for a second and just assume, okay, once you've got this award, just kind of like the other, just kind of like Ms. Whiteside was mentioning as far as other scholarships, we want to know how do we continue with this program? All right, so for the Tennessee Hope Scholarship, we are looking for students to have a 2.75 Hope GPA, and we'll differentiate that here in just a moment, after they have attempted 24 Hope hours. Again, we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. 2.75 Hope GPA after the first 24 attempted hours. Part of the continuation standard is that you must continue to be full-time if you begin the semester full-time. So notice that second bullet there, that bullet point there. If you change your enrollment within the same semester, going from full-time to less than full-time or totally withdraw, that's what we call a forfeiture under this program. There is an appeal process, but we want to make sure that all students are aware of this continuation standard. And as far as the FAFSA goes, I'm sure with today being late July, I'm sure we don't have many students or probably any at all that have not completed their FAFSA for this coming fall. But if you have not, please, I would strongly encourage you to get online this week and make sure that you complete that. The application is required for the Hope Scholarship to be released to you, and the deadline is September 1. So as I mentioned a moment ago, the Hope Scholarship GPA calculation can and will be a separate, will look differently from your university GPA and attempted hours calculation if you had any dual enrollment or AP credit, because look at the first item. The Hope Scholarship program excludes all coursework prior to high school graduation. This trick, this kind of tricks folks up a lot after their first and second year. So we want to make sure everyone is aware of this program requirement that they want us excluding all coursework prior to high school graduation. That includes the course credit, as far as the number of attempted hours, as well as the grade. But notice that next line item, that it includes, this program includes all courses taken after high school graduation. That means if you've started in an English class and you decide to repeat it the next semester, for this program, we have to count both of those grades along with both of the sets of credit hours. So we're just giving you a snippet of information about this program right here, but our Tennessee Hope Information Survey is on your MocsNet under the Money tab in the Financial Aid Surveys section, and that's going to give you a more inclusive look at how this program is run, as well as there's information on the web page, of course. So just to kind of wrap up a little bit about what Ms. Kim Whiteside had mentioned about other scholarships, I would be remiss if I didn't just say, if you are receiving a scholarship of any kind that is renewable from an outside group or agency or foundation, you want to make sure that you understand the terms and conditions of that program or that scholarship so that you can continue under that scholarship. Just as the Tennessee Hope Scholarship has these standards to continue, that other scholarship or one of your university scholarships may have completely different standards to continue. So we want to make sure that you are not just looking at the Hope Scholarship continuation standards, but whatever standards for the scholarship that you're receiving. And I know, I say this just as Mr. Drew did, I know that Ms. Tanya Martin and folks are adding important information to the chat. So we appreciate that. So let's talk just a moment about the UT Promise, a scholarship program that is going into effect this coming fall. We're extremely excited about this. This is a last dollar undergraduate scholarship that will, as it mentions here, that will guarantee free tuition and mandatory fees to qualifying students. For first-time freshmen, as you can see by the dates over here, all of the dates have already come and gone. So hopefully if you have been a student that is tracking this and you are HOPE eligible and you meet the, you and your family meet the income requirements and the household requirements there, that you've been tracking this and is needed. As you can see, we have a link for more information at the bottom of the page. All right, so our Financial Wellness Center, and I feel like I say this each time, but I want to let everybody know that I have 3 students that will be in attendance at UTC this coming fall. And 2 of them are upperclassmen, and 1 of them is right here as a first-time freshman, just like you all are. And so I don't have any, I don't wonder a bit as that they are in. I've got 1 in biology, 1 in interior architecture, and so I don't question the rigor. It's my duty to make sure that they are good citizens when it comes to, their financial wellness, if you want to look at it like that, and understanding money and how to budget and understanding their credit. So one thing that we offer here in our office is our Financial Wellness Center. And as you can see, we've got peer financial coaches that can assist and meet with students to, discuss these different scenarios and items mentioned. So we want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that additional service, and you can email us at financialwellness@utc.edu to do that. Well, that is the last bit of our piece. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to turn it over to the bursar's office and let them take it from here. We look forward to having you this coming fall. Go Mocs!
All right, good morning. I'm Vanessa Parks. I'm gonna pass it over to Loman Martin, who is the assistant bursar in the bursar's office. Thanks, Loman.
Thank you, Ms. Vanessa. First and foremost, we want to welcome everybody to the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Welcome to the Mocs family. We're so glad that you're going to be with us. And I kind of echo Ken's sentiments. We'd love to do this in person, but to stay safe but still get you the information you need, we're glad that you've been a part of this information session. Just like Ms. Vanessa said, I am the assistant bursar with the bursar's office, and our office handles everything financially, kind of like the money manager of a student's account here at the university. All their fees, parking, meal plans, dining services that is attached to their account is ran through the bursar's office, and then we work in conjunction with financial aid. The reward packages are placed properly and put together properly, so you can kind of understand how that process flows. I'm actually going to turn it back over to Ms. Vanessa so she can go over some important dates and timelines and things you need to know from the business services perspective of the university.
Thanks, Loman. Again, my name is Vanessa Parks. I am Senior Associate Vice Chancellor for Business Services, which includes the bursar's office. The bursar's office, we're located in room 274 of the University Center. And I'd like to always give our telephone number because we would prefer parents and students to call us with any questions that they may have and before being canceled the non-payment of classes. Our telephone number is 423-425-4781. The bursar's office, we're responsible for the collection of student fees, housing, meal plans, parking fines, parking decals. We disperse all financial aid. We process all discounts and fee waivers. We handle all third-party billings for Vanderbilt and vocational rehabilitation and other fee-related services. Basically, when you think about the bursar's office, it's all things money. Our website is www.utc.edu/bursar. I will be covering fee-related issues with you today, and we'll start off with cost of attendance. Basically, your cost of attendance is determined by your residency, whether or not you're in state or out of state. Also, whether or not you're eligible for the regional tuition rate, which is expanded to certain counties. And we also have a new border state rate discount that you will probably want to look into if you are an out-of-state student, because both of those are significant discounts on the out-of-state tuition. Also, other factors include whether or not you're full-time or part-time. Also, for our new students use what's called the SOAR in 4 schedule. So if you go on the Versa website, we have several fee schedules, and the one that you will look at as a new student will be the SOAR in 4 schedule. You'll hear that called sometimes 15 and 4 as well. Also, some other determinations are online courses and online support fee. We have been told for the fall semester, because so many of our traditional courses have been switched to online, that students will not be charged the online support fee unless they're in an online program. So that online support fee is normally for online courses, but we switched so many courses over, students will not be charged that fee for the fall semester. Also, some other determinations is whether or not you have differential fees for certain colleges or programs, which is in the College of Business, Engineering, Computer Science, Nursing, Occupational and Physical Therapy. Our fees were voted on during the June board meeting, and for the fall semester, for this academic year, there are no fee increases. So that's a good thing for this academic year. As far as our fee schedule, this is the SOAR in 4 fee schedule. So looking at the cost of attendance for our full-time students, if you are a full-time student taking 12 hours or more, the in-state rate is $4,828 per semester. For an out-of-state student taking 12 hours or more, the cost is $12,887 per semester. The difference between our in-state students and out-of-state students is tuition. In-state students do not pay tuition because in-state students are funded by the state of Tennessee. Out-of-state students pay tuition, and that out-of-state tuition cost is the cost that I'm speaking of that you may receive a discount on if you consider a regional tuition discount rate or the border state rate. Also at UTC, we have several mandatory fees. I won't go through the definition of these fees, but I will tell you what they are. These fees are still in existence for the fall semester. They are the student activity fee, the debt service fee, the health fee, the athletic fee, the green fee, the library fee, the facilities fee, the transportation fee, the technology fee, and the international fee. Again, all of these fees are mandatory fees, and they will show on your student's electronic Mocs Express statement when you receive that electronic statement via email. These are particular courses, additional specific courses and program-related fees that are charged depending upon courses that students may register for. Some of these are the applied music fee for private instruction. We have some courses that have a lab fee and a course fee, and those will be dependent upon courses that students may register for. And again, the differential fees that are here, the support fees, online support fees, and then program-related fees for such as our Mosaic program. Some of these fees are paid as seat fees during the summer semester and applied to students' fees when they register for the fall. Cost of attendance. Fees at UTC are paid by semester. So if you don't hear anything else I say during my entire presentation, the last day to pay fees before cancellation for non-payment is August 6th. I'm going to ask that you write that date down, August the 6th. That's the last day to pay fees before classes are canceled for non-payment. The first day of classes for the fall semester is August the 17th. Also, parking, students that purchase parking decals, we have reserved, general, south, and west campus decals. So the cost of your decal will be dependent upon which decal you select. In order to purchase a parking decal, you will need the make and model of your car and your tag number. Our meal plans, they range from $1,768 per semester to $1,998 per semester, depending on which meal plan you select. Our housing ranges from $2,497 per semester to $4,474 per semester. Again, that will be dependent upon which housing you select, and these charges will be on your electronic statement depending on what you select. Other costs are costs that are not billed by UTC or not billed by the bursar's office, but these are costs that you need to consider when you say, well, how much does it really cost for me to attend school? These are things that are included in your financial aid budget, but again, not billed by UTC. Things like transportation, clothing, gas, and entertainment. The installment plan is a very popular plan that we have here at UTC, and we have many students that participate in the installment plan. There are no forms to complete. It's very easy to participate by paying your 25% of your balance from your electronic statement and a $30 installment fee by the August the 6th deadline. That's that deadline date again. And the remaining 75% will be divided into 3 payments due on September 1st, October 1st, and November 1st. The installment plan, that's a website for you at the www.utc.edu/Bursar tuition installment plan. We also have a tutorial on the plan. But just to give you an example of how the plan works, say for instance, your total charges are $8,000. And say you have $4,000 in financial aid. That leaves you a balance of $4,000 that's due by August the 6th. If you choose to participate in an installment plan, you will pay 25% of that $4,000 balance, which would be $1,000, plus a $30 installment fee, which would be $1,030 by August the 6th. If you pay that $1,030 by August the 6th, we will confirm your classes. The remaining $3,000 will be due in 3 payments of $1,000 each on September 1st, October 1st, and November 1st. So again, it's a very simple plan. It allows you to expand your charges throughout the semester, so that gives you a little flexibility on making payments rather than paying that full balance on the August the 6th deadline. Fee discounts. We have many students that may be eligible for a fee discount depending upon the employment of their parent. So if your parent is a full-time certified public school teacher in the state of Tennessee or a state employee, then the eligible dependent will receive 25% off of maintenance fees. Maintenance fees is that first column on that cost sheet. If you're eligible for this discount, you can have the forms on the Bursar website. You can also get them from the Board of Education or from your employer. Those forms cannot be signed prior to June 1st because many the teachers and state employees are on a contract, so the signature of the student, the parent, or the employer cannot be prior to June 1st. You can send those forms into the bursar's office. As soon as you send those forms in, we will calculate the discount. It will show up on your student account. You can also mail the form in with your payment, and you can calculate the 25% discount. If it's calculated incorrectly, then we will adjust your account accordingly. Also, if you send the form in after fees have been totally paid, we will issue a refund. Also, other discounts are for UT employees. So if your parent works for UTC, UT Knoxville, UT Martin, UT Memphis, the eligible dependent will receive 50% off of maintenance fees. And those forms can be pulled off of the Bursar web department or from your employer as well. If your parent works for the border region, which would be like Chattanooga State, Pellissippi State, Tennessee State University, the eligible dependent will receive 50% off of total fees, not including differential and course fees. So these are some really good discounts if your parents work for any of these employers. Financial aid. We work closely with the financial aid office to make sure your student's financial aid appears on the student's electronic Mocs Express statement. In the event that once you receive that statement, if for any reason you don't see the financial aid that you may be expecting, we encourage you to call the Mocs One Center in order to check on that financial aid, because what you see on your account is what we're going to see on your account. So if for some reason those funds do not show, and you can show some type of authorization that you're receiving those funds, we will work with you, the parent, and with the financial aid office to provide what we call an extension on those funds. And what that means is we will give you an extension on those funds until those funds arrive. In the event that they do not arrive for any reason, the student will be responsible for that balance. book loans. Ms. Whiteside mentioned the book loan some, but I will elaborate a little bit more on that. Book loans, we will give up to $700 per semester based on your financial aid credit on your account. What that means is after housing, fees, and meal plans have been assessed, if there's still a credit on your account, we will put up to $700 of that credit onto your ID for you to be able to purchase books in the bookstore. You have to have completed a Title IV authorization in order to have those credits put onto your account. A Title IV authorization allows the bursar's office to put non-mandatory charges or charge those non-mandatory charges to your financial aid. A couple of examples of how the bookstore loan works is, say for instance, your credit is $1,000 after fees, housing, and meal plans have been assessed. We will put $700 of that on your account at the bookstore for you to charge books if you choose to. If you decide not to use that credit, then those funds will be refunded to you when we process refunds on August the 26th. But say we do put $700 on your account and you only use $500 of that, then we will only charge $500 against your financial aid. There are no additional charges or no additional fees. Another example would be after fees, housing, and meal plans have been assessed, say your credit is $322. Then we will put that $322 on your ID in order for you to purchase books in the bookstore. And again, if you choose to use it, you may. If you choose not to, you do not have to. And we will only charge you the amount that you actually charge against your financial aid credit on your financial aid. Outside scholarships, the bursar's office, if you have any type of outside scholarship, we recommend that you send those scholarships to the bursar's office, the Mocs One Center, or to financial aid so that they can get applied to your account properly. Some of our donors will send those checks directly to the students. Normally, they're payable to the student and to the university. So if the check is payable to you, please endorse the check. When you send the check to the bursar's office or to UTC, we will restrictively endorse the back of that check. And please include your student ID on any payment that you send to UTC, because we have lots of students or many students with the same name, and we want to make sure that your funds get credited to your account properly. Third-party billings and authorizations. At UTC, the bursar's office is responsible for billing. We assist students with third-party billings for Voc Rehab, for Vanderbilt, and also the 529 plan. We have lots of parents that have a 529 plan and need assistance with that. So we have a representative in the bursar's office that will assist you with that. Some of the 529 plans, they just require you to send a copy of your electronic statement. Some just will allow you to pull off the funds that you choose to pull off. But we do have a representative to assist you with that in the bursar's office. If your student has a credit balance, what we call refunds, the earliest date that refunds will be available will be August the 26th. So once you receive that electronic Mocs Express statement, if you have a negative sign or a minus sign in front of your balance, that lets you know you have a credit. Those credits, again, will be available beginning August the 26th. We highly recommend every student sign up for ACH or direct deposit. ACH stands for Automatic Clearinghouse, where we direct deposit funds directly to an account that you determine. We have about 85 to 88% of our students that have signed up for direct deposit, and we're trying to cut back on foot traffic in the student services offices. So right now for the summer semester, if you do not sign up for direct deposit, we are mailing checks. So we had a lot of return refunds to come back to our office because their addresses were not updated for their permanent mailing address. So if for any reason you decide not to sign up for direct deposit, please ensure that your permanent mailing address is correct on the system, because we had students, a lot of checks returned for bad address. But please sign up for ACH direct deposit. It's very simple, and the funds go to the account that you select, and those funds will be direct deposited on the evening of August the 26th. Authorized User and Ferpa Authorization. You may hear both of those terms. Authorized User is where you sign someone up in order to be able to, like a parent, to be able to log onto your account and actually view your account activity, such as your adjustments on your account, your billing on your account, or refunds, or any activity on your bursar's office account. And we recommend you have someone as an authorized user so that they can review your account like your parent, and they can see the information, and they can see the same information that we're seeing on your account as well. The Ferpa authorization is an event that someone other than the student needs to call into any of the student services offices. That Ferpa authorization is a PIN that the parent or whomever the student signs up for will receive in order to get information on the student's account. That Ferpa authorization would be used only if someone is needing to call into our offices. So we recommend that as well. So that's the authorized user and the Ferpa authorization. This is just a snapshot of what the authorized user site looks like. So I'm just gonna go to the next screen, but that is just a screenshot of what that looks like. Electronic statements. Our bursar's office, on our electronic statements, it will include your fees, housing, meal plans, miscellaneous fees, and financial aid credits. On that statement, it will also show your charges and your credits, and if you have a balance, it will show you your balance, it will show you your credit. Those were started to be sent out on July 13th. Students will receive an email notification indicating that their electronic statement is available. You will log into your MyMocsNet account to review your statement. So those will be available once students are registered for classes. So many students have already pre-registered for some of their classes. So you can probably log onto your account today and review that electronic statement. Our official fee payment procedures, once you receive that e-bill, it will have three options. You will have either a zero balance, a credit balance, which has the little negative sign in front of it, or a balance. If your student has a zero balance or a credit balance, they have to do nothing. How easy is that? You have to do nothing. Classes would be automatically confirmed for those students, so not because no payment is due. If a student has a balance, they must pay that balance by the August the 6th deadline, or participate in the installment plan by paying the 25% and the $30 installment fee by August the 6th in order to not be canceled from classes for non-payment. So again, that's that important date I asked you to write down, because if you do not pay your balance by that August the 6th deadline or participate in the installment plan by that date, then your classes will be canceled for non-payment. Electronic check, we ask that if you're paying online, if you're able to, use electronic check with your routing number and account number, because there are no fees. So if you have a MasterCard or Visa that's associated as a debit card to your checking account, use the routing number and account number versus the debit card, because there is a 2.875% convenience fee that's charged for all credit card transactions. So if you pay with MasterCard, Visa, Discover, or American Express, there's a 2.875% convenience fee. So if you're able to, please use your electronic check for payment. You can also mail a check into the bursar's office. If you mail a check or money order into the office for payment, please again, put the student ID, the ABC 123 number on that payment. Cancellation for non-payment. Again, classes that are not paid or confirmed by August the 6th, those classes will be canceled for non-payment. We have students that are literally waiting for us to cancel classes for non-payment so that they can get into a closed class or to another time slot that they were not able to get into. So please avoid getting canceled for non-payment, but in the event that you are and you attempt to re-register for classes, then you have a small window of time, if you're able to get back into those classes, to pay without a late fee penalty. Currently, the late fee begins on the first day of classes, which is August the 17th. The bursar's office will have other services, which I won't talk about, but they're here on the website because we have just the interest of time. I know that the Mocs 1 Center needs to speak real quickly. So I only have two other things to tell you. Please pay attention to the bursar's office emails that may be sent to you. These emails are letting you know that there may be, that you are getting close to the fee payment deadline, and you may be waiting until August the 6th to pay your fees, which is fine. So just consider those email notifications that we're sending you as a courtesy if you're actually waiting until August the 6th to pay. But otherwise, if you're thinking, oh, my financial aid is going to show up, it's not on there right now, then you need to call the Mocs 1 Center, the financial aid office, to make sure to check on those particular items. And lastly, I'd just like to welcome you and your students to the UTC family. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amy Davis, and I am with the Mocs One Center. And on this call with me is Mallory Thompson. She is the Assistant Director of the Mocs One Center, and I hope and I am sharing my screen with you. So this morning, I wanted to just let you know, as you have already heard from the other representatives, we do partner with the Financial Aid Scholarship, Bursar, and Records Office. We are sort of the frontline folks for financial aid and scholarship, to the point that their doors are closed and you are asked to come to the Mocs One Center first, allow us the opportunity to assist you. If for any reason we are unable to answer your questions, we will direct you to the person within that department. So these are just some of the things that we do here. As you see on the screen, we will assist you with making an online payment if you're needing to order a transcript, or if you're required to complete documents electronically and you're needing assistance with that, then you can come to see us. We do have some computers within that we will assist you in completing those specific forms. One unique thing that we have going for us here in Mocs One is that you are able to answer any questions that you have via our website. As you see at the top of the screen, that is our website listed there, www.utc.edu/Mocs, M-O-C-S -1, O-N-E, center. Again, you can ask your questions that way. We will respond within 24 business hours of your questions, and you can we will also call you if you state that in your question that you would like a call back. We will call you and explain anything to you. On this screen are just some additional services that we provide, partnering with those departments that I mentioned earlier. The one thing I want to mention is that we are all notaries here in the Mocs One Center, so if you're ever needing a document notarized, know that you can come to see us for that service. And I know time is drawing near, so I just wanted to say another feature that we have is our virtual sign-in system. So you are able to sign in to a virtual queue by using your smartphone or going to our website. This will prevent physical lines waiting to see someone. You will receive a text message that lets you know your estimated wait time, and you'll receive a follow-up text that tells you who specifically within the Mocs One Center will assist you. So that is just going, again, with your smartphone, excuse me, you can go to utc.edu/MOCSQ. Again, we just say thank you for being a part of this presentation, and we look forward to seeing you here on campus. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. So we've had some questions in the chat that I've been going through and answering, and also posting a whole bunch of links for you. So there again, you can save that chat. If you hit the three little buttons down at the very bottom where you would type in information on the chat, there's an option there to save the chat. And that way you've got all these links that we've given you, the email addresses, etc. If you're on a phone, sometimes you can't see those little buttons. And so you're welcome to email Drew in the orientation office or Carrie, either one, and they absolutely can help you out with getting a copy of that chat, because we know it's a lot of information there. So I think we've answered most everything. Health insurance waiver, students already have health insurance. Ms. Parks, I'm not sure if you can address that one. I think that was the only one I didn't get to.
We don't have a health insurance charge that are on the fees. That's for the health services. So that's not a health insurance charge, but we do have insurance that's provided if a student for withdrawal due to health reasons, if a student chooses to have that insurance, but there is no additional fee for health insurance. Other than our international students, I'm sorry. There is one for mandatory for international students.
All right, thank you so much. I think we've got that. Ms. Kayla, I see you've messaged me privately. I'll try to answer you real quick. If not, shoot me an email if I miss you before this gets closed out, since we're right here at the end of time. I think we've got everything answered? Because anybody got anything they need to chime in on the last minute?
No, Tanya, that was another question about the negative in front of the balance on the accounts. That is a credit balance as of the date that you're reviewing your account. So if there are not any other charges that will come onto the account, then that will be the amount that the student will be due as a refund.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. I think that's got everybody. Sorry, it's a mad, furious way to try to keep up with everything that's going on in the chat and listen, but I think we got everything. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We're very excited that you're here with us. We've got tons more sessions going on today. And the thing is if you missed some stuff today, because we know it's a lot of information to take in, we do this exact same session again tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. So join us again tomorrow and we'll run through all of this stuff again, and you'll see different questions answered in the chat as we go through. But you've got time to go grab another cup of coffee, whether it's your third or fourth cup. I know I need to go another cup myself. And join us back here at 11 o'clock for the next session. And thank you guys so much. Go Mocs!